So, wow, you already gave me a thumbs up. That was nice. Wow. Okay, so what I'm doing here first in the morning, as I always do, is start with cleaning the water. Today, there's a new health product that I'm extremely interested in. And if you guys, I'm definitely going to be doing some videos in the near future. I can tell you a little bit about it today because it's, in my personal opinion, very exciting. If you guys have ever heard, it's a website called void-systems.com. And I just think it's going to work absolutely perfect with what I've been doing. But now here, I'm just doing my clean water routine first of all. That's all I'm doing right here. Maybe I'll tell you guys about the product a little later if you're interested. But right now, this is basically what I do every morning is clean my water. And when I say clean my water, I am not talking about running it through a little water filter. Because if you've watched my video 388, you'll see the lab reports and understand that you're just not going to clean your water to the highest degree, in my personal opinion, with just a normal water filter. And I mean, I say that's my personal opinion, and you do guys know I don't give any medical advice. I don't make any claims either. But I can tell you that nothing will clean water. I mean, this is just kind of a fact. Nothing's going to clean water like carbon distillation. And that's what this is. And so I make it at night. And then in the mornings, I wake up to this clean water. And I store it here in these glass jars. They have different systems. The website for that is mypurewater.com. And I just love clean water, guys. I actually think, look, there's a lot of controversy about diets and everybody has their own personal opinions. And you know what? Regardless of diet, in my personal opinion, you absolutely can't go wrong with clean water, a little bit of minerals. And of course, hydrogen is the one thing, if you do it right, of course, because I hate to say it, you guys have probably heard me talk about the wrong ways to do hydrogen and the right way to do hydrogen. And that's a whole other conversation. I think more people, in fact, I did a thing with ChatGTP. Maybe I'll do that video here soon. You guys will see what it says because it's actually very accurate. It's very impressive. I was very surprised about how accurate it is. But if you want to know about the new health product that I'm not only looking into, I am definitely getting it and just awaiting its arrival. But I'm pretty excited because like I said, I think it's going to literally go absolutely perfect with everything that I do. And you guys, as you guys know, I only show you guys what I personally use. I don't just promote things for the sake of promotion like other people do. But so it's going to be exciting. And I already loaded up my hydrogen water, and I already took in 1 liter empty stomach. And then now I'm going to make my special smoothie, which is all about nutrients. That's what we're talking about here. It's all about the nutrients from food, of course. And let's go with this. Here's a raw cacao. Raw cacao is really good for, it has multiple health benefits, but the one that interests me, and I just believe in, I go off of, honestly, I go off a lot of instinct, but I also read a lot of different things and I just kind of store it in my memory bank. But raw cacao appears to activate stem cells. Maybe we can look up some foods here. I have to know with the smoothie. Look up foods that activate stem cells, but I've seen that about raw cacao. And that, to me, is a good thing. Okay, the other aspect of my quote-unquote regimen is lots of water. That's one thing that almost nobody talks about. I'm like about clean water and foods that have lots of water. And even foods that don't have water, I soak them in water, see? Like the raisins, so they pull in more water. Water. Super amazing. Okay, it says, where do you get those bottles you hold the water in? How long can the hydrogen water sit? Well, the hydrogen water can't sit, very long. It depends on temperature, it depends on movement, it depends on how you made it. It depends on many factors. But the hydrogen, well, here, I'll just show you real quick. See, when the hydrogen water is sitting in the machine like this, see how it's already done, because 00 means it's done, but it means it's on standby. If you notice, it goes and then stops, and then goes and stops. That's standby mode. It's maintaining the hydrogen at full blast. As long as it's on the machine, the moment you put it in a glass or something, it's not going to last. I mean, this is the best way to make it last the longest, this particular machine, the way that they make it. And I would say it will, I mean, okay, well, I'll give you some rough numbers. It will last roughly 1 hour. All the hydrogen will be gone in 1 hour. But remember, if all the hydrogen is gone in 1 hour, that means probably that in roughly half an hour, half the hydrogen is gone, which means that in 15 minutes, 1/4 of it is gone. So I always try to drink my water. It all depends on how serious medical issues you have, in my personal opinion, or how much you want to get out of the hydrogen. I typically drink mine in less than 1 or 2 minutes. I don't haul it around. You know, it's just not something that I personally do, because you're just going to be losing a lot of the hydrogen. Now, the Japanese invented a special pouch, like a hydrogen pouch, and it is specifically designed to hold in hydrogen longer. And that one appears to hold about 80% of the hydrogen for about 16 hours, something like that. But at least that's some actual testing that I've seen on it. But if you put it in the refrigerator, on its side, the pouch, apparently it can hold 90% hydrogen for like a week or something crazy. So hydrogen is tricky. It's interesting. So different than like oxygen, for example. And just lots of really magical properties. I'm telling you, we're going to learn a lot about hydrogen in the very near future. And I already have a lot of stuff that I know that I've never shared because, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. There's certain things that I have not shared about hydrogen yet. And, you know, under the right circumstances, I probably will. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is the greens here. Where do I get the glass jugs? Well, you know, it's funny that you asked that, because a lot of people ask me that. And I kind of find it, I don't know, kind of funny, I guess, that people are asking me that question. Because, you know, I've found them in random places is where I found them. I could give you some examples. So once in a while, I'll find these like apple juice, organic apple juice on sale. And it comes in these really big glass jugs, like those. And basically what I do is I use up the organic apple juice, and then I clean out those glass jugs and just use them. And the reason I was doing that is because periodically I'd find some stores that would sell the glass jugs, but man, they were selling them. I'm not kidding you. They were selling the glass jugs for more than the actual apple juice that came with the glass jug. It was kind of weird. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just grab the apple juice stuff, because I do actually ferment. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys. Here, check it out. I'll share it with you guys. Since you guys are here today, I'm going to show you a health beverage that I have created here. You actually use, I ferment the apple juice on my own, and check it out. You can hear the natural gas. And it's literally like sparkling. And so it brings apple juice to life again. And it tastes kind of like apple soda pop, but it's actually healthy for you and good for your stomach and all that good stuff. Well, basically your good gut bacteria. And so that's one of the little things I do. I do a few little funny things, and most of the stuff I do is pretty basic, you know, just I like to keep my life honestly as simple as possible, because, well, I probably shouldn't go into why I do it. The point is that's what I try to do. I try to live a very, very simple life. That's what makes, I don't like to have a complicated life or a specific complicated regimen, you know, as far as my health regimen. And so here we go. Well, these are the greens. These are super greens today. Organic, of course. Want to eliminate the pesticides as much as we possibly can. And so so I will share this with you right now, because that's why I'm doing this. Let's see here. Fred says, send you an email when you get a chance. Yes, Fred, I just kind of woke up and did my hydrogen protocol. I will definitely get back to you. Cider, LOL. Yeah, it's non-alcoholic, though if you let it ferment too long, it will become alcoholic. But there's no alcohol in it at first. And so, guys, there's this new product, and the reason I'm going to tell you about it is because it has everything to do with what I'm doing. If you guys have ever heard of vacuum blenders, and I have heard of them, and interesting research on them showing that they help maintain the nutrients more and in the food, and also I think if I combine that with my vacuum sealing of my smoothies, I think it's going to not only give us more nutrients, which is going to be exciting, more nutrients, guys, and I think it'll even last longer. So that's going to be, in my personal opinion, very exciting. Okay, let's go with the sun-dried raisins soaked in hydrogen water. And you know, when I do that, I have to now officially replace it. Now, if you guys want to see how I do that, I guess I can show you that. Organic walnuts, anti-cancerous, by the way, and the raisins have extremely high levels of boron, which I've told you before is good for sex hormones. It's good for the brain. I mean, it's good for testosterone, good for estrogen, naturally in the body. Of course, it's very different than synthetic stuff. And obviously it has other benefits too, but it's good for boron's good for the brain, ligaments, muscles, all that good stuff. Now I'm putting in walnuts, which have been shown to be anti-cancerous in their whole form, which is what we're doing here. Plus, it gives nutrients, good oils, good fats, good fiber, obviously. But anti-cancerous is always a wonderful thing. And then you know what I'm going to do? These are broccoli sprouts, which I'm very happy that I have some today. And I think I'm going to put some in there. So this new machine that I found it's from a website called void-systems.com. And of course, if you want a discount, it's not a huge discount, but the code uprising144 gives you a discount. And it helps support the channel a little bit. And that's all wonderful. But the more important thing is, again, to show you guys how to potentially, by the way, I just put some hydrogen water in there. And I got to get these walnuts and these raisins going again. If you guys want to see how I make, I guess, hydrogen raisins, I can show you right now. And so, yeah, so I'm really excited about this blender because it's going to help not just preserve the food better, which is great and all, but that's not really the purpose of it. It's kind of magical. I actually was kind of skeptical when I first heard about it. And the more I learn about it, it actually seems awesome because, as you guys know, look, if I'm going to put the effort in to making these smoothies on the regular, which I clearly do, and I'm going to continue to do anyway, I might as well maximize what it can do for me. And so I don't know if you guys have ever seen those vacuum blenders, but it's exciting. Oh yeah, let me show you what I'm going to do here. Taking the hydrogen water. Now, I would not do this with just any ordinary hydrogen machine, just in case people think that they can do this with, I would not do this actually with Kangen water. I wouldn't do it with, definitely not any Brown's gas machines with chemicals like lye. And so it does matter what kind of water machine you're using to make certain foods like this. Depending on chemicals, the way that the machines manipulate pH, and different things that I personally wouldn't do. Just saying that because, as you know, I don't give medical advice, but the last thing I want to see is somebody doing things that could potentially be harmful to them. So yeah, so these vacuum blenders, they suck up the oxygen so that they won't oxidize. Guys, this is going to be so exciting. This is the next step for, the things that I do for my health. And then I do have one more step after that, but the next one is going to be extremely complicated. Flax seeds, also found to be anti-cancerous, really good fiber, and just amazing, really good nutrients. There's some nutrients in here, I can't remember the names of them, to be honest, that I just remember were so, you just couldn't get it from other foods. Well, you could, but not in high levels. I think they were comparing it to something like meat, and I'm not against meat. I'm just saying that there are specific nutrients that we're looking at that were just, you'd have to consume so much, where flax seeds had a high amount of them naturally, which is always wonderful. It's all different foods. I think regardless of the food you choose, you want to get things that are organic, and you want to get things that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Clean. You don't want pesticides, in your food. And I think, like I said, I think regardless of however you eat, regardless of diet, clean, not just clean water. Clean water is super important. That's like, for me, foundational. But it's the hydrogen that really, I mean, that combination is like black peas and carrots. Just really good combo. And so yes, I'm, like I said, I'm extremely excited about it. We're going to be doing some videos about it because I'm doing the smoothie videos anyway. And you guys are going to get to see the difference that it makes, which of course we already know that it makes a difference. They already have data on it. So that's why I'm already, want to do it. It's already something that appears to be great. And I've just been excitingly waiting about it. So it says, Fred says, thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, Fred. Thank you. And yes, in regards to those glass bottles, as I was saying, I buy some apple stuff, some apple juices, and I think, that that's a quote unquote great way to get it. But you can also find them, like I found them on the internet before, like just like literally like garage sales and people selling used stuff. But you can definitely find stores with them, but I don't know why. I really honestly don't know why they sell for so much. They're so expensive for these glass bottles, and I have found places that sell them. But there's another one that I found. If you saw the one I found that looks like the one that I'm actually using, it's got a little spout on it, and I just used it a moment ago to put some water into my other jar. That one was I just got it from the basic store. It's designed, it looks like for like, it literally has a little chalkboard on it. So you can write on there like lemonade or, just so that you can put some, like let's say you did put lemonade in there and then it has a little spout and you just put a glass there and pull the little spout. And I use that a lot. And that was pretty inexpensive. Ironically, I think it was less expensive than the other glass uh, jars that I got. And I've just been accumulating them throughout the years. I even have these huge ones. I have these huge 5-gallon jugs. Those were harder to find. I found a guy who was selling a ton of them online one time. And those are kind of spendy. Those are almost like, I mean, those things actually I think will go up in value, which is kind of weird. I wasn't doing it for that purpose. And by the way, we're putting in ginger now, another anti-cancerous ingredient. A lot of these ingredients and anti-parasitic, you're going to notice that a lot of the ingredients I use are anti-cancerous, anti-parasitic. You can Google about it, see the things that they've discovered. Ginger is something that the Japanese, there's some specific people who have some cancer protocols and they use ginger for sure. And I like ginger and I put it in here, well, almost every day, really. Okay, we got some magical ingredients here today, but this one, I'm going to use some of these beet leaves. I, on purpose, put a little less of the greens today because I want to leave just enough room for some of these beautiful beet greens. Well, let's just take all these here. Let's just do it. And these look good. These look good. This one looks mysteriously, maybe potentially not a good part. Let's break that off. And this one all the way to here looks no good. I'll keep the stem though. Look at these wonderful colors. The colors mean something. I remember, not only have I read about it, because it just like blueberries have that rich color and beets have that rich color. Well, these stems of these beets have a rich color too. And I always know that the old school Japanese would always believe, and obviously you guys know they live a very long time. From what I can see, they do a lot of things right, but there's a few secrets, by the way. Their longevity. They live, I mean, they have more centennials than I believe anybody in the world. And I've seen it before. And I think I actually discovered the secret to longevity. Now, a lot of it is obviously a clean lifestyle. And let me know if you can hear me actually, because somebody just tried to call me. And when people try to call, somehow that sometimes causes the live YouTube video where you can't hear me. I'm going to pour a little hydrogen water in here. I'm sure I don't need to show you guys how I do it. You know what? Let me show you guys how I do it, because maybe you guys are not, I just didn't like to move the camera around, but let's see if we can do this. I'll show you how I do this. I clearly just take the, and all I do, but I only fill it up so much. See, I fill it up to right there. And I go little by little like that because it makes it blend perfectly. Now we'll see what the vacuum blender is going to be. Exciting what it's going to do. And so people have been asking me lately, well, what blender, should I get? And the new one is the one I'm kind of excited about. Okay, here we go. This is natto. This is a very magical ingredient. It's going to be a very important ingredient. And let's see, we can hear you. Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, this is a very important ingredient. This ingredient is full of nutrition, massive amounts of protein. This is the garbage part, in my personal opinion. I'm going to throw that in the garbage. It's got sugar and just garbage. I take just a raw material, which is the natto, which is a fermented bean. The Japanese do a lot of fermented stuff. And I plan on showing you in the future, because I need to not only do it, I'm going to show you guys a huge secret to longevity. I'm going to show you guys, and I literally have to move. By the way, to activate the natto, you got to stir it like this 100 times according to the data, or more, but at least 100 times. And this has a really good enzyme in it called nattokinase or nattokinase, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's just naturally within this. And also, what's in here? Looks like something's in here. What's in here? What are you? It looks like probably just a tiny, I think it's nothing actually, but it looks like a little burnt piece. And so not only does it have a lot of protein, almost the same amount of steak, it's almost exactly the same, but this also has a lot of fiber. It also acts like a really nice natural statin. It just thins your blood just a little bit. It's rich in vitamin K. And when you combine it with the nitric oxide that the body will produce from some of these vegetables that I'm putting in here, and you combine that with the hydrogen, I mean, this is all more and more, quote unquote, secrets when you combine them. That's what I've always noticed, is the combination of things. It's a lot like a car. You combine a good engine, you combine it with good tires, you combine it with a good transmission, combine it with an aerodynamic body. It's all about, things working synergistically. Now, if you don't want to do that, as I've known many people don't, including my own dad, then I usually just tell my dad, I'm like, look, Dad, let's just do clean water and the hydrogen. And I didn't know how good that would work. That was many years ago. And it worked so much better than I could have anticipated. As far as the issues that he had, his issues with arthritis and blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, glaucoma, stuff like that. And it was pretty remarkable. And that's when I realized, you know what? You can do so much with just clean water and hydrogen. However, in my personal opinion, if you combine even more good stuff, then it's going to be enhanced and be even better. Japanese secrets for longevity. Fascinating. Yes. This one is, maybe it's a Japanese secret. Maybe it isn't. I don't know if people, there's certain things in the world, in my personal opinion, that are there and it's right in the face, like literally right in front of us. And we just don't know what it could potentially do for us. And this is going to be one of those things. And I don't want to reveal the secret yet. I want to reveal, when I have it. For today, I like to talk about what is kind of right in front of me right now. And right now, I'm making a smoothie, right? Because of the nutrients, the amount of fiber, fruits and vegetables. People just don't get enough. Let's be honest. People don't get enough fruits and vegetables. And like I said, this whole argument that people have about diet, all I will say is this, like, I'm not against meat. I'm not against, seafood. Now, granted, seafood is really filled with heavy metals right now. It's pretty bad, but I love seafood. And I think in the end, things are just about balance. But I think the biggest things that we clearly need to avoid regardless are just like processed foods. A lot of processed foods, high corn fructose corn syrup, processed sugars, just processed stuff. If you can just eat more natural, like a fruit, a vegetable, even if you decide to eat a steak, you get like a grass-fed or organic beef, whatever, but whatever it is, and it's raw material, that it hasn't been tampered with, guys. That's what it really, a lot of stuff I think kind of comes down to is like, did they tamper with this? And it seems that when humans tamper with things, things don't work out so well. But you could even be like, ooh, fruits and vegetables, and you could overdo it. You could overeat. You could overeat on meat. I mean, remember, you can pretty much do just like water. You could take the cleanest water. I don't care what it is, but you could take the cleanest water, and if you drink 2 gallons of that stuff, you're gonna die if you drink it within an hour or something like that. So you can even get toxicity from water. And so life is about balance in all things. And I mean, I loaded up on 1 liter of my hydrogen water this morning already. And let's go with that much beets today. And, I'm not going to be putting 10 beets in here. I'm putting probably about half a beet, Putting some of the beet leaves, according to some research, they have vitamin D. Super, super unusual. Very, very rare. And now let's throw in one of my more favorite ingredients. It just seems to really bring good flavor. And that is a banana. Look how ripe these are. These are great. Normally I never time it right when it comes to these bananas. And there we go. There is that. Okay, what else do we want to throw in there? We got the natto. Oh, I know what we're missing. Did you guys notice what I'm missing today? I'm missing one of my favorite best ingredients, blueberries. Anti-cancerous, anti-angiogenic, full of fiber, phytonutrients, antioxidants, blah, blah, blah. The list is long. Blueberries are pretty awesome. Really good source of different vitamins. Let's see here. And it even has iron. Wow. And potassium. Wow. Of course, it has natural sugar. That's very different than processed sugar. And I say that because I've seen the data. I've seen when they do these studies and how the different sugars, like the high corn syrup or different processed sugars, as compared to sugar from fruit. Wow. I think I might have put a little too much in there today. Oh well, blueberries are good for you. See, that's the thing. If I just happen to put a little too many greens or a little too many blueberries or a little too many whatever, it's not the end of the world. It's all good. Oh, you know what? Now I know what I'm missing. I knew I was missing something. I was missing my hydrogen chia seeds. Now, let's put a little more hydrogen water in here as we go. See how I do that? Just as we go, you put a little bit of water. If you don't do that, the water will not go through properly. And this is going to be an interesting learning curve. We're about to find out when I get my new blender because it's going to be shaped a little differently. And let's go with the chia seeds. Normally I don't do the chia seeds this early because it blocks the water, but let's go ahead and go with that. Lots of protein again, lots of minerals, lots of fiber. That's one of my big things, guys. I am big on fiber. I love things to move smoothly. And that is super important. And because of the data, there's so much. The data on fiber is actually it's quite impressive. And I don't know if people talk about it enough personally. They always say, well, make sure you get enough fiber. But, 30, I think they recommend somewhere like roughly 30 grams. But that is not, in my personal opinion, correct. That is the minimum amount that is really required, in my personal opinion, based on some data that I read that was pretty shocking. So, but I would say probably get at least the minimum because apparently less than 3% of Americans get the minimum. Less than 3%. What does that tell us? Nobody's eating fruits and vegetables? And people think, oh, well, I'm getting fiber. I'm eating this Twinkie, or I'm eating these pancakes, or I'm eating, I don't know, whatever, And obviously it's soluble, insoluble fiber, blah, blah, blah. But, and I got to say, I'm not real happy with these celery. Look at this. I got to scrape these little questionable parts. It's probably fine. It probably won't hurt me. But look, it looks kind of gross. And I just don't want that in my smoothie. Who knows? Maybe it'd be fine. By the way, if you guys don't know this about me, a little bit of a germaphobe, just so you know. And yeah, so I like things very, very clean. That's why I like my water so clean too, actually, because the stuff, if you really learn what's in water, it's so gross, guys. One of these days I'll have to show you what it looks like. And I've had people comment already when they get one of those carbon distillers like the one that I use. And they're like, hey, the tank's so filthy. What's going on? You know, they're worried about it. I'm like, that's what's being taken out of the water, you silly goose. The water that goes in the container that you drink is super pristine. They're like, well, yeah, that stuff's super clean, but the other container is so gross, it gets so dirty. I'm like, that's what it's filtering out. That's the stuff that you're avoiding putting in your body. And they're like, oh my gosh. It's like, yeah, you've been drinking that. Can you believe that? And so a visual, you know, when people see that, it's like, oh my gosh. Kind of like when people dump some people who use Brown's gas with the chemicals that I'm not really fond of or whatever, you have to dump the chemicals and it's so gross. And that's literally what you're inhaling. It's just like, oh my gosh, you guys really think this is good for you? That's for people who don't understand hydrogen. But I will tell you this, there is Chat GTP is actually quite well informed, it seems, because they gather all the data from the internet. And I'll be making an interesting video about that because I don't have a lot of experience with Chat GTP, but a friend of mine recommended it. Okay, I'm going to put the minerals in now. More minerals. Yes, that's correct, guys. I don't put it really in my water, barely. I put it in my smoothie. Why? Why, Hydrogen Man? Why would you put the minerals in your smoothie? Well, funny you guys should ask. Yeah, you guys are not asking many questions. In fact, ask any questions you want. This is the best time. You have me right here live, free. You can answer questions if you even have them. But basically, minerals combine with fiber. See, that's the big thing they're discovering. They're discovering a lot of things about fiber in Japan, but basic stuff like it helping regulate blood glucose. That sounds like amazing for people who are diabetic. That's what when people worry about, they're like, well, the fiber though, it's, you know, there's sugar in that fruit or vegetable. It's like, yeah, but it's got fiber and it helps regulate. It's all about, it's not about sugar, it's about regulating the levels of the sugar because you're going to need sugar. I mean, that's the way your body runs. Pretty much runs on sugar. And so here we go. Scraping the little nasty parts off this organic celery here. It's okay. It's probably fine. I'm probably just being weird. Don't know why I'm a germaphobe. I've been that way since I was quite little. It's funny. You know, here, I'll share some interesting research with you about cavities. Maybe a lot of people don't know. Most dentists do know this. The Japanese discovered that if you have a child, like a baby, that you should not kiss the baby on the mouth, not share cups, basically don't get any of your saliva into that baby's mouth by accident by sharing utensils and different things. Why? Well, because they discovered that there's specific bacteria in the mouth and you can make the child's predisposition to getting cavities. And if you can avoid doing that for so many years of the child's life, that they will most likely have healthier teeth and will not get cavities and things of that nature. And it's funny because when I was a kid, my brothers would share cups and, you know, drink out of the same cup, and it was like no big deal. And my dad used to call me a prima donna. He's like, "You're such a prima donna," because I didn't want to share cups with people at a very, very small age. I don't know. I don't even remember really when I first started doing it, but I do remember as I got older. But I just didn't like to share cups with people. I'm like, that's gross. I just didn't want to do it. Turns out I was doing the right thing because that data was not around when I was a kid. I learned that much, much, much later in life. But yes, it really does matter. And so the bacteria in people's mouth plays a role in cavities, believe it or not. And so that's an interesting thing to learn. Like, I don't plan on having children, but if I did, I'll tell you one thing, my poor kids. I say poor kids, but I have a certain way of looking at things. Oh yeah, let's see here. Stacy says, what is your current blender and what are you going to for a blender? So the current blender I have is a Vitamix. I like the Vitamix. It's not a bad blender. I actually really like it. The problem with the Vitamix is it doesn't do the vacuum blending. And the data on that is really good. I mean, there's things that you can do that you just can't do with any other blender. And I'm so glad somebody like figured that out, just like the hydrogen. And basically the new one is from a website called void-system.com. I think it's system, yeah. not systems. I think it's just system. I already have a discount code on it. It's Uprising 144K. It's a $20 discount. It's not huge, but it's better than nothing. But the point is, these particular blenders suck out the oxygen, so that way the food doesn't oxidize. And I was surprised to find out, just like organic food, this is why I like to look at these studies, because otherwise you don't know. It turns out that the nutrients will be more preserved. And so there's already, look, I put so many nutrients in this thing, in this smoothie that I'm making. I mean, this thing, people think, like, for example, people think that you can't, and I'm not really big on trying to get all muscular or anything. I'm not, wanting to be a bodybuilder, or I don't want to try to, show off muscles or whatever. But the point is, people think that you can't get big and strong with fruits and vegetables and nuts and beans and seeds and potatoes or whatever. And I'm not against, just so people understand, I'm not against people who eat meat or anything weird like that. People argue about that stuff. It really doesn't bother me, but I do go off of certain data and, I think, again, things within reason, life and balance, whatever. But the blender, sucking out this oxygen and blending it like that under the vacuum, appears to just be so much better for the food, guys. It's awesome. And so that's why I'm going to be really excited about it. It's called, I think it's called a Void system, but like I said, I know that the website's called void-system.com. I think I put it I don't normally put anything in the description area of the videos, but I think I put it in there already, because I know people have been asking me, like, well, what blender should I get? And I'm like, well, I mean, you can get a lot of different kinds. There's a lot of different kinds that you can get, but if you're going to go through the trouble, I mean, if you're really, really going to go through the trouble of making smoothies like I do, I hate to call it trouble because I don't see it that way, but I know a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I got to make these smoothies. But, for me, it's become such a habit, and I kind of love it. And it's weird that I say that I love it. When I say that I love it, it's because, I mean, do I like making smoothies per se? Okay, maybe not, but I'm grateful. That's what it is. I'm very grateful for having access to this produce. I'm grateful that I have access to this blender, stuff like that. But the vacuum one, I've been wanting one, guys. Just so you know, I've been wanting one, but I've been kind of trying to research it for some time and really find the right one. And that's why I'm really excited. As you can probably tell, I am like super, super excited about this one. And I probably should have it within a week or so. And we're going to see the difference. I've already seen multiple videos where they show the difference between a normal blender and a vacuum blender. My only concern, which it's not a concern, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine, is just if it can handle all the produce I put in it. But I got to speak to the company and they're like, you know what? Our blender is basically really comparable to a Vitamix. So if you can do it in the Vitamix, you should be able to do it in our blender. And I think that all sounds correct to me based on all the research that I've done. So it's going to be exciting. But like I said, you go through this much trouble. Here comes another banana because they're going really ripe. It's going to go bad. And here we are, pretty much done. We're going to start this blender up. And I already put the minerals in it. I'm going to put a little bit more hydrogen water in it just to top it off. I always like to top off my blenders, my smoothies. And then I'm going to use the leftover hydrogen water. You'll see how I do it in a second. We're going to add some nutrients too. Now the nutrients come in after blending, so that part shouldn't affect anything. But I actually think that this vacuum blender is going to enhance my whole protocol even more. So let's see here. Let's start it up. It's working. It's all about the order. Oh, this is going to dance off the counter. That was not good. Let's start over. Really chopping that up. Okay. Let's kind of chop something up in there. Let it blend for a second. Let's go ahead and take the compost out. And see how today's smoothie's gonna taste. We're gonna add some magic ingredients that are very important nutritionally. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna get some jars. I like to stop it periodically, let all the heavy stuff soak to the bottom or drop to the bottom. Soak to the bottom. That doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, there's definitely stuff still in there. This guy, this guy, and we're gonna add some very, very special ingredients here at the end. I mean, a lot of these ingredients are actually quite special already, but some important ones, more than special, they gotta be important. Okay, I'm gonna add a little hydrogen water to these guys, so you're about to watch that. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are excited, but you're probably like, oh, why are we excited? I mean, guys, if there's something that we can do that's simple, just like purify my water with my water machine, and soon to have vacuum blender, which I'm already blending, so it's not like it's any more work. Sometimes that's the issue with health stuff. It's like, oh, it's going to be more work, but nope, it shouldn't be any more work. It's just the same old thing, just a little bit better equipment. Okay, let's do this one more time. And these are the magic ingredients which nobody stayed tuned in for. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Okay, that should be good. Let's try it out. Terry C says, wonder what this dirty water looks like under a microscope. Oh my gosh, I bet you'd be disgusting. Hate sharing cups. It's gross. Oh yes, I agree. And the thing is, as a child, most kids would never think about it. They just do it. And that's what I found kind of weird, in my case. But hey, if you believe in reincarnation and past lives, maybe in some past life I shared a cup with someone, got cavities. I don't know. I don't know if that would be true. Holy smokes! Tastes good today. That's a good one today. Good one right there. Okay, let's see here. Everybody left. All right, I guess we were too boring for everybody. Let's see. Terry says gorillas seem to manage to get pick and strong on fruit and vegetables. That's true. Sorry, don't. Why it sent it twice. Already talked too much. You're fine. Stacy says I was looking for a blender and was gonna buy a Vitamix, and now I'll have to read on this one before I buy. I would agree, actually. If you're gonna buy one, do you ever freeze your bananas? I have in the past, but not much anymore. Ionic D3 with K2 is the next thing I'm adding. D3 is just super crucial for your health, and you're just probably not going to get enough of it. People may think they will, but I don't think so. It's extremely hard nutrient to get from your food, and the food that has it is just really dirty these days, and blah, blah, blah. Next one, boron. Actually, this is ionic boron. You guys know about boron, but this one is pretty much out. But I have natural boron in my raisins, so we're going to be good on that one. I think, do I have any more boron? Maybe I have another bottle here somewhere. Do I? Let me check. I'm pretty sure that was the last one, but let's just take a look here, shall we? Shall we? Maybe I get lucky. Nope. Didn't get lucky. Oh well. Maybe next lifetime. Okay, next ingredient. This one's was a gift, not totally necessary, but I'm liking it, and that's ionic chlorophyll. And I don't know why I like it. It tastes really good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very like earthy, but not quite as earthy as like beets. It's like earthy but vegetable-y. I don't know. I like it. I've grown to like it. It lasts a long time too. Okay, we have 2 magic ingredients coming up and to really finish this off. One of them has such high nutrient content. It is a food, and it's literally like a multivitamin. I mean, it's literally like a multivitamin all by itself. And so yes, if you're looking to get a blender, I also did, my big thing is also reliability. I found that these new blenders are actually shown to be quite reliable. And I'm telling you, it's that vacuum option. That's why I would get it. I mean, they have literally, check it out. Their pricing is super good too. They have the blender with the vacuum system, the whole thing. Normally, the vacuum system itself is like $300. They got the whole thing for $399. You get the whole thing for $399 with the $20 coupon. Then it's like $379. That to me seems like an absolute smoking deal for a good blender, but with the vacuum system. Yes, guys. I'm telling you, I am. I'm so excited. Like yesterday, I was like, "Oh man, I wish I had it already to show you guys." But oh, and by the way, I didn't even mention the ingredient to you. Hemp hearts. This is the one. Super nutritious. The best protein you can get as far as well balanced omega 3s and 6s. Just straight up magical stuff. Okay. Love hemp hearts. Some people have a hard time getting them. I feel lucky that I can, and they're organic. Okay, last ingredient. Anybody guess? Mm. Mm. That's interesting today. Last ingredient. I'm going to turn off my hydrogen machine. I don't want to just sit there on all the time for no particular reason. And I'm going to turn on my other hydrogen machine. This is why I like to have two of them. One for inhalation. It's so much easier this way. And so there we go. Inhalation of the hydrogen while I drink my smoothie. You know, hydrogen is considered a food, by the way. So it is. Wow, everybody left. Bored everybody to death. Okay. Do I freeze my bananas? No. I have in the past made almost like a banana ice cream, but I don't do that anymore. I guess I could. Yep, hydrogen gas right here. Let's take the. I can take the apron off now. All right. My heat pack here. All right, now I get to enjoy my breakfast. Now, what were we going to talk about? I could show you a picture. Let's see here. Before and after. So, here, if I can see if I can do this. I'm trying to show you if I can. I am not a computer guy, so I don't even know how to. I don't know how to do all this computer stuff. I'm just going to show you my actual computer. See, with before this is with the vacuum blender. See how it looked bright green, more fresh, and deoxidized with a normal blender. This is the vacuum blender without it, and there's a lot of information like that. And the thing I have not experienced is they said that it even tastes different. This is the system right here. So the whole vacuum, because check it out. I'll just show you this. Just the vacuum part is $300. So you end up getting the whole blender and everything with the coupon code for like an additional 80 bucks. It's so worth it. But anyway, that's going to be so cool because they say it tastes even the flavor because of the oxidation. So I'm very excited to kind of see the difference. Yummy, yummy. Okay, how many drops of minerals do you use? In the smoothie or my water? Oh yes, I was gonna research something real quick. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Wow, okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring some interesting information for you guys. Give me a second. All right, well there we go. That's what I'm looking for. You guys are in for a treat. Nobody's here. Only 7 people with 7 thumbs up. I know my channel is so silly and small. Whatever. Anyway, here's the secret today, guys. What foods activate stem cells? Well, I told you about the raw cacao. Blueberries, that's in my smoothie. Therefore, raspberries, blackberries, I don't need a ton of berries. Blueberries is enough for me in my smoothie. They actually help build, apparently, an antioxidant. It's called SOD, superoxide dismutase. This is an excellent for reducing oxidative stress, a key factor in liver support, blah, 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 blah. But berries are also rich in flavonoids that reduce inflammation and repair cellular damage. So these are actually, I apologize, these are actually cell regeneration foods. Broccoli, ginger, nuts, seeds, everything in my smoothie practically. Mushrooms, which I don't put actually in my smoothie. But I wanted 6 foods that help regenerate stem cells. That's what I was looking for. Because I wanted to talk about stem cells. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so basically, let's see here. You guys want to just hear about regeneration of stem cells? Okay, stem cells are undifferentiated biological cells that can differentiate into specialized cells and can divide to produce more stem cells. They are also called replacement cells. Your body uses stem cells to replace damaged or old dying cells. Okay, so stem cells can become any kind of cell that your body needs. Think of stem cells regeneration like a cut that heals on its own. That's our body's way of regenerating itself. Okay, fantastic. Because stem cells have a regenerating function, a rising interest in stem cells has begun, blah, 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 blah. Our appearance as we age, so it affects that. It's no surprise that stem cells are vital to the future of anti-aging in medicine, but their benefits go much, much deeper. From healthy hearts to beautiful skin, stem cells have the power to thrust us into aging healthy. Okay, blah, blah, we get it. So there are some natural ways. This is what we're looking for, natural ways. There are natural ways to boost stem cell production with the kinds of foods we eat. We need to start thinking about food as medicine and blah, 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 blah. Incorporating these foods into your daily diet is a great way to boost your stem cell growth. And so basically all the berries that I told you about, the blueberries too. Broccoli. Broccoli is our cruciferous vegetable. It's rich in sulforaphane. Now broccoli I also remember is anti-cancerous, but anyway, a chemical that increases enzymes in the liver which work to neutralize harmful toxins we all breathe. All cruciferous vegetables are packed with a unique molecule that reduces inflammation in the blood. So that's pretty great. Ginger root. And let's see here. Let's see. Stacy says, smoothie and water both, please. Curious. How did you determine it? Oh, you know what's funny is I don't know what it is these days. Well, maybe I do know what it is, but I didn't really want to talk about it too much because it sounds too wacky. But I would say it's a combination of all the reading that I do and learning. And then when I do the minerals, I'm putting way less minerals than what the company recommends in the water. If I put the amount of minerals that the company recommends, it just tastes terrible to me. It doesn't seem right. And I put very little. I only put 1 or 2 drops, maybe 3 drops in a whole gallon. But in the smoothie, I probably put it between 20 and 40 drops. And Terry says, interesting stuff. Very thankful for all the studies being done. Yeah, I agree. So we talked about ginger, nuts and seeds. So these healthy snacks have fats and protein to keep your full. I think they're writing it wrong. To keep your full longer. Well, okay, I guess it keeps you satisfied longer and satisfy cravings. But nuts are high in alpha linolenic acid. I'm not a scientist here, but which is a type of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fat. Seeds contain plant sterols known for their anti-inflammatory properties as well. you know, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm really looking for, this is not really, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Let me see here. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so cauliflower, broccoli, kale, cabbage. I eat cabbage almost daily. Cauliflower I don't eat daily. Broccoli once in a while, not daily. Kale, practically daily. So the cabbage, the bok choy, you know, I'm not a, if bok choy is okay. Brussels sprouts, I'm just not a huge fan of Brussels sprouts, but this on the list. And garden cress are some, they're not all of them, some of the best foods for stem cell growth. These veggies have lots of sulforaphane compound, which boosts, it says boosts, I think it means boosts, enzymes in the liver that combat harmful contaminants we may ingest. You know what? I bet you anything. Here, let me check. Here. Let's go easier. Let's see if there's any data on this. Here we go. Basically, guys, let's be really simple here. It appears hydrogen. It appears simple as that. Molecular hydrogen, and that, again, molecular hydrogen, not to be confused with Brown's gas. I'm having to talk about that more because people have been literally contacting me telling me they think Brown's gas is the same thing, and it's not. And that's because of a lot of people out there basically misleading or misinforming people, unfortunately. So I might make a video about that. But molecular hydrogen promotes wound healing by inducing early epidermal stem cell proliferation, guys. Hydrogen. And extracellular matrix deposition. And of course, basically just appears to be really good for regeneration and really good for inflammation. And of course, Biomed Central shows how hydrogen promotes, you know, healing, which I think that other site was basically talking about the same thing in regards to like cuts and different things like that. It also shows molecular hydrogen suppresses glioblastoma growth via inducing the glioma stem cell differentiation. That's pretty awesome. So yes, it appears, that's why I combined the hydrogen with like all this type of stuff. And it really seems to work, excuse me, quite well. Okay. Let's see here. I was looking though for specifically, let's see. Okay. What can help your body in general, just in general, things that we can do to boost our stem cells naturally? Well, one is good, clean diet full of stem cell nutrients. Obviously, I'm all about that. And most of the stuff on this list are things like berries, like the blueberries, the goji berries, pomegranates. I actually have 100% pomegranate juice in my fridge. I have little cups of it here and there. I really like it. Blueberries, raspberries, super awesome. They're gonna have to add hydrogen to this list in my personal opinion. But yeah, clean diet. They do talk about ginger root again, broccoli, kale, cabbage, bok choy, Brussels sprouts. Basically, it looks like a lot of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. Mushrooms, though, like maitake and shiitake, are also high in micronutrients known as polyphenols. And these nutrients are stem cell enhancers. So there you go. And I love mushrooms. I eat mushrooms almost every day, too. They help protect you, blah, blah, blah. Nuts and seeds, we talked about that. And seafood, even seafood. Now, seafood is the dangerous one, only because, and I love seafood, and I think some of it is good for you, but the biggest issue is the contaminants and the studies that I've seen in regards to that, quite a few actually. But seafood and fatty fish are another powerful and natural adult stem cell activator because of omega-3 fatty acids, but we get those in the hemp hearts and a lot of other things that I'm eating here, even the chia seeds. EPA is most often found in cold water fatty fish. So cold water, and I actually prefer cold water fish. Numerous research studies have shown how the fish oil is basically really good for lowering also your heart disease. Okay, stop smoking and reduce alcohol intake. Well, that would make sense. That sucks, right? Everybody's like, gosh dang it. I gotta stop having fun. No drinking, no smoking, or within moderation. Have an active lifestyle. That's obviously gonna be good. You know, I always tell people walk at least an hour a day. If you can't do that, then 30 minutes. And have a more active lifestyle. That's gonna be important. Get good sleep. I would completely agree with that. 7 to 8 hours a day. Let's see here. Actually, let's see what they say about sleep. This is what the research at the Stem Cell Institute has shown in regards to lack of sleep or insomnia. Is very detrimental to stem cell function in the body. A reduction of night sleep to 4 hours instead of 8 decreases the ability of stem cells to migrate by nearly 50%. Wow. While proper 7 to 8 hours of sleep do the opposite and renew the quantitative and qualitative blah, 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 circulating of stem cells. Okay. Avoid toxic products and environments. That I would agree. So they're talking about all the like cleaning agents, the Pledge, the Mr. Cleans, the Lysols. That's what they're showing. The way that they affect hormone production and the nervous system. And boy, that's a really long thing, but I think we all know chemicals are no good. I mean, that's actually the whole reason. I know nobody's listening now. It's like almost nobody in here, but that's why I keep talking about the right way to make hydrogen. If you're gonna make it where you're using a chemical or cheap ingredients and stuff like that, then what's the point of doing it if you're just gonna harm yourself potentially, right? Like I said, these are just all my opinions, but you know. Terry says, Greg, some cooking lives would be great for people. I know you do the shorts, but like you said yourself, when you first start this lifestyle, people are clueless on what they eat. Just a suggestion. Yes, I have thought of that. The problem is that I'm already recording. I'm already doing so much, it's like I'd practically be recording my whole life. And there's so many shows on how to cook and food stuff. Avoid harmful and toxic medications. There's another one. It appears, wow. Okay, what a shocker, huh? That a lot of pharmaceuticals appear to be bad for your stem cells. I mean, we're talking from antibiotics. Wow, not only hurt circulating stem cells, but also cells in the tendons and cartilage. Interesting. Ligaments, tendons. Wow, all sorts. I mean, wow, the way it affects your bones, ligaments, and also in your, of course, your gastrointestinal tract. Over-the-counter medications such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, NSAIDs, can also increase risk of getting autoimmune disease, kidney failure, neuropathy, gastrointestinal issues, Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, IBD, UC, or even strokes. Wow. And those are Aleve, ibuprofen, Motrin, Celebrex. I guess you could try natural anti-inflammatories, like the hydrogen, turmeric, fish oil. That'd probably be a little less scary. Let's see. Still trying to figure out this whole stem cell thing. Okay, well, that's a little information there for you guys. Well, today's video doesn't seem very popular, so it's all good though. I think I'll let you guys go unless you have any other questions. We can shorten this one up today. Oh, Agneta says, can you store the smoothie in the vacuum blender jug? Then you don't need to have it in jars and vacuum. Less job. I would completely agree with you. Here's the issue. Well, you probably could, but if I vacuum seal it, blend it, pour it, I'd have to vacuum seal it again. And I think it's easier for me to wash the blender and store it in jars, But yeah, you can look at it that way. And Terry C says, or should I say his protocols? What do you think of Brian Johnson? Brian Johnson, yes, I believe I've heard of him. I actually reached out to him, I think. Let me see if it's the same guy we're thinking of, just to confirm. Are you talking about the guy who, Brian, singer-songwriter? I assume that's not the guy you're thinking of. Let's see, maybe I spelled it differently. That Brian Johnson, yeah, the guy who's trying to live forever. I actually have some secrets on what potentially could, like, to build a piece of equipment that is actually pretty spendy, that I actually think could reverse aging. Like, when I mean really reverse aging, not like, oh, you know, this reversed it a little bit. I'm talking like taking an 80-year-old and making them 20 years old again. I don't give the secrets away of that one, because one of these days I'm going to be working with somebody for this piece of equipment, but this piece of equipment would probably cost something in the neighborhood of $20 to $30 million probably. And it's something that's never been done before. Nobody even knows about it. I mean, it's literally my idea, but I did find data to support the hypothesis. And I think it would actually work. But it wouldn't just be for longevity and youth. I actually think it would work on, dare I say, I'm not going to use the word, but I'll just say that all of disease, all medical issues, this potentially could do something pretty extravagant or extraordinary in regards to that. It'll just be, you know, finding the right person. And I actually thought Brian Johnson was the right person, because he was like, you know, he's spending $2 million a year to look younger. And you know what the funny thing is, his protocols, I honestly, like, he's probably got some of the best blood there is, and I'd be totally willing to put mine up against his. And I think he's doing way, way, way more than what I'm doing, because he is spending a whole lot of money and trying to, I mean, $2 million a year. I'm not spending no $2 million a year on my health, and he's definitely going all out. And I think a lot of what he's doing is actually correct. So I don't think that you needed $2 million to do it. And I still have a lot of cheap things that I do these days, because now that I'm feeling so much better, there's things that I do. But my cheat things are small, but I still do things that I technically shouldn't. Maybe I'll hang out with friends and I won't sleep at the exact same right, you know, hour, or sometimes there's a lot of get-togethers, and one of my friends makes beer, and I really like beer, and I'll have some beer or something, like just little stuff like that. But I always end up like using my hydrogen to balance it out. One thing that he doesn't use, ironically, $2 million, and he's not using hydrogen. I think that's actually a big mistake that he's making, because he's measuring everything. I'm pretty confident that if he was to measure with the hydrogen, he's going to see the difference. I mean, a lot of these studies have already been done, so we know it works. That's why I'm surprised. He doesn't even talk about clean water, you know. Let's see, Terry says, he's a rich guy who's into longevity. Yes, that's the one. Yep. You two should get together. Yeah, I think we would be very interested in each other's work. I have a feeling that we're very, very similar path. I can see clearly that there's stuff he's missing, though, because I do have some secrets for longevity. I'm not going to say what they are right now, because it would just change a lot of things. But I can tell that I was considering sharing some information with him, but I'm not totally certain. He does certain things that don't even make sense. Like, he's wearing fingernail polish. Now, first of all, you want your fingernails to breathe, so you don't want to be suffocating your fingernails. Plus, fingernails polish is highly, highly toxic. Definitely has PFAS in it. And I don't know why he would do that to himself with all the effort he's doing to try to improve his life. And of course, like I said, he really doesn't talk about water. He definitely doesn't understand hydrogen. And there's some other secrets that will go nameless for the time being, that I can definitely see he doesn't know about. And these are things that are out there. It's just people just don't know about them. And I will be talking about that more in the future. So yes, well, you know what? You can always, a nice guy like you. Well, you know, he seems like it, and that's why I was thinking about doing something with him. You know, Terry, you can always write him too, because sometimes I've noticed that when my viewers write different people, they respond better. It's almost like when somebody writes you and says, "Oh, you really should talk to this person because of this," but if somebody writes you and says, "Hey, you really need to talk to me," it's different. So, you know, if you guys think I should talk to him. And I really think that him and I could do some amazing things. I do see that we are kind of on a similar trajectory here. He's more into the anti-aging. I was more into wanting people to eliminate disease, but I think they actually go hand in hand. So, oh, and thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Just realized you guys are doing that. I guess I'm gonna have a little more smoothie. Ouch. Just hit my knee here. Ugh. Okay, fast healing hydrogen, come on. I just banged my knee. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a bruise. Delicious. Yeah, so I do think that we would be a good match to work together, actually. It's just too bad he didn't really respond. But, you know, he probably gets a lot of inquiries, and a lot of people don't know things that I know because I don't go out and say them too much either. But yeah, wearing, yeah, not only fingernail polish, if you really want to get crazy, even the clothes you wear. Clothes that are made, like I literally found, this is crazy, but I literally found clothing that's made from organic cotton, you know, because there's a lot of weird stuff on clothes. I don't sweat it too much, but I do know that it's true. Terry says, oh, I will definitely, Greg. I think important what you're both doing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really do think so too. I think it would be a really good potential fit. So, okay, guys, well, like I said, today was kind of one of those videos where I know I wasn't talking about the most exciting stuff. For me, it was exciting. I'm really excited about the vacuum blender. I think that right there is going to take things, again, to another level. Let me see. Let's see. Just since we're doing this, let's see. Here we go. So this is what they found with the vacuum blender. It helps preserve vitamins, which is pretty wild. So nutrients, antioxidants, and even the natural enzymes compared to conventional blending. So more nutrients, guys. Just that right there is a big deal. And they also say that it does provide better tasting blends. So that's going to be interesting. Even better color, less separation, and considerably less foam. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Less oxidation, more hydrogen. So that to me sounds pretty awesome. Let me know if you guys end up ordering one. I'm kind of curious. Let me know if you end up getting one or want to get one. And let's see. Using your, okay, let's see if I can find, I'm trying to see if I can find some more data for you guys, but that's pretty much, I think, it. You know, prevention, you know, keeping those, preserving the antioxidants. The better tasting is great, but that wasn't like a huge issue. But fresher blends without preservatives. I like that. Better color, I don't really care about the color. Less separation, that is kind of nice. But pretty much better nutrients and antioxidants is what I would be very, very interested in. Okay, guys, any last questions? Nope. Okay, I'll give you guys a few seconds and I'll probably get rolling here. I'll just keep inhaling my hydrogen while I drink my smoothie. Okay, no questions. All right, guys, then I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the thumbs up. Sorry it wasn't a super exciting day today, but every day in some ways is exciting in a different way. So hope you guys have a good one. Till next time.